Hey guys, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 bringing to you yet another awesome yet crazy theory, and I've decided to put together a theory video about the Joker and Harley Quinn relationship because for the most part the Joker and Harley Quinn relationship, in my opinion, is one of the most iconic pairings in the history of the DC universe, and they've kicked a lot of ass in the comic books and in animation. But however, live action, not so much, and there's not really much else to compare in terms of the live action aspects because we've only ever seen the Joker and Harley Quinn pairing once on the big screen, and that was in Suicide Squad, and they were played by Jared Leto and Margot Robbie. And while Margot Robbie has gone on a real tear and really tore it up on the big screen in two outings, the first one being Suicide Squad, the second being Birds of Prey, and soon to be a third outing in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. And Jared Leto, on the other hand, just seems to be sitting in the background waiting for the phone to ring for his next appearance as the Joker. Time will tell whether that's going to happen or not. So we're going to take a look at the Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship from animation to the comic books all the way to live action, and then I'm going to do my theory on how I would have set up the Joker and Harley Quinn relationship in the DCEU. Since making her debut as a throwaway character in Batman the Animated Series in an episode called Joker's Favour, Harley Quinn and Joker's relationship is one of the most iconic pairings in the history of comic books, and it's quite funny that for a character that was only supposed to be a throwaway character for one episode, Harley Quinn has quickly established herself as one of the most popular characters in DC comic books history. But we didn't know anything about her until 1993's Batman Adventures Mad Love, which in my opinion is one of the best Batman graphic novels of all time. And what I loved about the graphic novel it told the story about Harley Quinzel's younger days as a gymnast, all the way to getting her degree as a psychiatrist, to getting a job at Arkham Asylum as the Joker's doctor, establishing their relationship in terms of how they met and the chemistry that they had, and how she got the Harley Quinn costume and why she hates Batman so much. And like I said, Mad Love is a must-have for all Batman Harley Quinn fans, because if anyone who doesn't know the relationship about the Joker and Harley Quinn, I highly recommend you read Mad Love, because they did do an episode about Mad Love in season 4 of Batman the Animated Series, and although it was very good, the graphic novel is 10 times better, and as I said, it's highly recommended. You won't be disappointed. It's a lot of fun. And for 29 years we've seen the Joker and Harley Quinn tear it up in the comic books, to animation where the relationship was first established in the DCEU, and we've seen the Joker and Harley Quinn experience a number of ups and downs, but they always seem to find each other. And in recent years we've seen the Joker and Harley Quinn relationship take on a more abusive turn in the Harley Quinn animated series. But while the Joker and Harley Quinn have kicked a lot of ass in the comic books and in animation, live action, not so much. And that's nothing against Jared Leto and Margot Robbie. They're fantastic, they have great chemistry. Jared Leto is a great actor. Margot Robbie has kicked a lot of ass so far as Harley Quinn, but I have a lot of issue with the writing because the relationship in the DCEU hasn't really been established, because we see them in Suicide Squad, boom, they're already together, and apart from a couple of flashbacks here and there, we don't really know a lot about their relationship. Now, I'm assuming that filmmakers are looking at it like, well, the fans already know about the relationship, there's no need to explain it. That might be the case, but at the same time, it's always important to explain things to your audience, otherwise they're not going to understand, and especially when the writing is a bit clunky, it can make for a very head-jarring situation, in my opinion. We've not really seen them together that much, and now the new twist is that Harley Quinn has left the Joker, as we saw in the Birds of Prey movie, by blowing up Ace Chemicals, which was where the Joker fell into the vat of chemicals, and we saw Harley and Quinzel also take the plunge. But at the same time, it's not really enough to sit there and think, oh well, that's a shame, their relationship's over, because we've not had enough time to invest in their relationship. So this is going to be my theory on how I would have set up the Joker and Harley Quinn relationship in the DCEU. I would have had a prequel movie before the Suicide Squad, and I would call it Mad Love, and I would have most of the movie set in flashback, with Harley Quinn sitting in her prison cell, looking back at her life, at why it became all Looney Tunes and how she first met the Joker. And all of the flashbacks we would have seen in Suicide Squad, I would have kept them all in there but just expand on them more. So I would have shown how Harley Quinzel became a doctor at Arkham Asylum. I would have also shown how she met the Joker, and we would have seen the Joker slowly twist Harley Quinzel's mind and corrupting it. So I would have kept all that stuff, but as I said, I would have expanded on it more, and we would have seen over the course of the flashbacks Harley and Quinzel start to fall in love with the Joker, all the way up to taking her plunge into the chemicals that created the Joker in Ace Chemical plants. Now also, what I would have had in these flashbacks is we would have just seen the Joker and Harley Quinn going around causing chaos in Gotham City and earning the reputation as the Bonnie and Clyde of crime. And for the flashback, we would have actually seen Harley and Quinzel in the iconic red and black. And for Batman's role, he would still have a big role in the movie, but I would have it more reduced in a cameo sort of role. So even though he's a big part of the film, he wouldn't be the main focus of the story. So this is more Joker and Harley Quinn's story, not a Batman story, but Batman still has a big part in it. So we would see him show up, chasing after the Joker and Harley Quinn in car chase scenes, beating up the Joker and all sorts of things. But as I said, this is more of a Joker and Harley Quinn movie instead of the traditional Batman movie, in my opinion. And I would also have, for an after credit scene, I would have Amanda Waller show up at Arkham Asylum, listening to Harley Quinn rattling on from a security tape about her relationship about the Joker and how her whole life turned Looney Tunes. And we would then hear Rick Flag speak to Waller over the phone and say, "Miss Waller, I've got it." And Amanda Waller could say, "Have you got what I asked for, Flag?" And Rick Flag could say, "Yes, I have. I've got Harley Quinn's file." And Amanda Waller could then turn around and say, "Well, good. Then we're ready to begin the next step. Tell everybody that Operation Task Force X has begun." And that's how I would have set up the Suicide Squad film, by having a Mad Love prequel. So when we get to the Suicide Squad movie, everybody knows about the relationship with Joker and Harley Quinn, because you've already seen that explained in a whole flashback movie. And that's pretty much my theory on how I would have set up the Joker and Harley Quinn relationship in the DCEU. Now, would you have done it like this? Would you have done it as a Mad Love prequel, with the whole film set as a series of flashbacks told from Harley Quinn's perspective? Or would you have kept all of the flashbacks exactly as it was in the Suicide Squad movie without the prequel? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time. So until then, take care everybody, and stay safe.